What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to start installing the X-Carve upgrade kit. I haven't seen any videos out there like it yet, so I got everything laid out here to show y'all here in a second. That came with the $500 upgrade bundle, and it's quite a bit. And the only complaint I have is I have not received any instructions when it comes to motor settings and Z settings and all that in easel. And I didn't see in easel anything that allowed it to automatically adjust everything for your machine. So it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride, maybe getting everything configured right, but this video is going to be on the installation portion. So stick around and knock it out with me. All right, so here's the new Z, and it is massive. And when I say massive, I mean it's touching the router, and you can see how wide it is. A good thing I think that I saw that I didn't know it came with is it has new dust collection rails, and it comes with two nice dust collection knobs. No more screwing with these little green knobs, so that is a major plus. Got a stack of what they call stiffeners here. I don't know how stiff they're going to be, but I'm sure it'll help a lot in the end. Good thing about these is they will kind of protect and keep dust from going out from under the rails and getting all over everything. Got the belts, 3 stepper motors. Your Z comes with a stepper motor pre-installed, which is really nice. Got the risers, and like I said, if you look on here, it talks about M5. I guess that might be the size of the screw, but I don't know. It is labeled very well, so dust cover, whatever. I'll know to use these. Well, dust cover stiffener hardware, so I guess they also call these dust covers, because this is like, it looks like what goes into the track in order to be able to screw these in place. But still, no instructions. Belt upgrade, bigger belts, the more dust cover stiffener hardware. These go together, I'd imagine. Z Probe relocation bracket. I think I already have that bracket installed, so I don't think I have to worry about that. 9mm idlers, 9mm belt clips, and 9mm belt sleeves to replace these measly, I think, 6mm ones. So the way I think I'm going to go about this is I'm just going to slap on 2 risers in the back first, okay? And what that will allow me to do is then work from the back to the front, adding my stiffeners with these detached, of course. But you got to put your hardware into the slots here, so you got to have one of these open. So that's what we're going to knock out first. Stay tuned. I'm going to time lapse it. If I run into any problems, I'll let you know, and I'll also let you know how easy that portion is. Stay tuned. All right, guys, after my last clip, I did some thinking, and this may be a 2-part series because this kind of stuff does need to be detailed, and I don't want to just rush through everything. So I am about to start on the back there. I will be using an impact wrench with a little hex head on it or whatever to take things out and maybe to snug up, but I will hand tighten everything in the end. Got to be careful not to break anything. So right now, I'm going to get all of my rear components, the 2 opposite risers, and find the screws that talk about risers, and go back there, take out the old, put in the new. I had to enlist a helping hand. All right, let me tell you guys so far what I've learned. The long bolts go on the top, the short bolts go on the bottom. They are compatible with the existing little silver things that are in the grooves. So you don't have to trade all those out. For the stiffeners, you don't have to pre-place all of the silver I don't even know what they're called. Twist T-slot. You don't have to pre-place all of these, because what happens is you put it in sideways, and then when you start screwing it, it will twist and lock in place. So I'll try to get a close-up on that soon. So I didn't add anything. My goal was to get everything raised, and so far I have it. I'm gonna maybe try to square up my machine a little bit the best I can right now, which is going to be pretty tough. The stiffener should square it up pretty good too, to the bottom, honestly. So I might leave everything loose until I get the stiffeners put on there and see what it does. Look what he was looking at. Oh, see the lights? The lights? Love you, buddy. All right, stay tuned. All right, I'm back. It's always good to have Bubba in the shop. He loves everything that I do out here, although he's only 10 months. Everything just makes him so excited to see and play with a drill and all that. It's just, and you know, if you're a father, you know the feeling. If you're not a father, I'm telling you, it's the best feeling in the world. So there's my spill on that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do is put all of these in off camera for the tops of the rails back here. And I'm gonna keep them loose because I'm gonna have to move some stuff around, and I'm gonna leave them loose when I put the risers in there. And then I think after I put the risers in there, I'm gonna check square, because I know my base is really square, and I say risers, but the stiffeners may, since they go straight up and down, either show me that it's out of whack by leaning back or forward or not lining up properly. So I am gonna leave everything loose while I do that. I am missing a screw, and I haven't checked my pockets. Not my pockets. Bubba didn't grab it. Missing a short one for the bottom over here. So I'm gonna try to find that, get all these put on, and then we'll get to the risers. All right, next we're gonna be putting on the stiffeners. You're gonna install them like this. This is gonna go over your box metal that I will show you right here. You see how that slides over that. Okay, you're going to be putting your P-track slots in the top. Let me show you. In the top rail. And how you want to insert these, you don't have to go from the end over here. Thankfully, this makes life a lot easier. And how I'm going to install them is I have a magnet here that's from in a DeWalt set. This is aluminum. These are magnetic. So what I'm going to be able to do is, first off, have the screw extrusion facing outward, the little lip, and it'll screw right in to your little nuts that it came with, or screws that it came with. So the easiest way to do this is to turn it like this, sideways, and then just insert it right in here like this. Do you see how that's sitting in there? And then when you push it back, it does that. And now with the magnet, I can put all 6 up there, and I can install this and put them in a rough location, and I can install it, and what it will do is I'll be able to move it with a magnet to the hole that I need. So that's going to be nice. Anyways, let me see if I can get this one installed real quick. And also, I already held it up to this. I know that my machine is a little out of whack right now because that stiffener, like I said earlier, shows it like crazy. It had a gap up here which wouldn't let me screw into the top. So with the first stiffener, when I put it on here, I'm going to be basically trying to track down what I need to change. So I'm going to put all 3 of these in here at once. There's one. And I'm going to put them close to their respective locations because, like I said, I have a magnet. Let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and put them on the underside, down on the bottom, with my visual reference here, just to kind of make it a little easier. Middle. And what should happen, I think, when you use a magnet and you have your little groove on the outside, it might, once you line it up, oh, maybe I was completely wrong. I thought it'd be cool if that groove would fit into this piece here, but it does not. So, because that would be a cool stopper, you know what I mean? Like you pull your magnet over it and it just stops it, and easy does it. Okay. Let's throw this in here, and there's a gap right here. Let me show y'all. So that means something needs to move somewhere. So these stiffeners are going to play a very, very good role in getting this machine square without me having to move too much, which I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to remove the plastic first here, of the protective layer of whatever it is. There's one on each side. I think it's just protecting the acrylic, because I think that's what these are. It's very pretty black, very pretty black. Nice and shiny, looks like somebody polished it. Of course now it's all dusty, and this is going to be very annoying to do for, I think, 12 of them, or however many there are. There's a lot. I'll just leave it at that. I wish I could hire somebody just to take this off. Wouldn't that be nice? But I can't afford it. That's why I have an X-Carve. Alright. There's one side. Time to do the other. Okay. I will ask Inventables, if you ever watch this video, make this a little easier. You know, why does it even have to come with this protection on it when they're wrapped up so tight they're not going to move in the packaging? Just a question from a fan. Okay? Okay. It shouldn't take a man 10 seconds just to get this started in order to pull it. Guys, sorry I don't have music in my time lapses. I haven't started editing on computers yet. I appreciate it while I'm doing this. If you like this video, you want to see more X-Carve content, please smash that subscribe button and hit the like button if you like what I'm doing. I'm trying to get this video out first, to be honest, so that I can be the first to have one on a channel on the upgrade kit. So once you get this in place, it looks very clean, very nice. So let's get to installing it. Was going to time lapse it, but I said I might do a part 2, so we'll see how long all these videos are in the end. I am going to just do this one in real time so you can see how I use the magnet trick. Gotta find the right size Allen. There it is. I have that same size on my drill, but I'm not going to break this acrylic. Alright, so another trick, take this Allen, put it in the silver piece, move it to where you need it, pull it out, come back, do it for the second one, okay, come back, do it for the third one, just line it straight up, just like that, and then you can do that for the bottom as well, and they shouldn't move. And I may, after thinking about it, have these backwards, but it shouldn't matter. It should be okay. That helps me get everything lined up. I should be able to start them right off the bat here. Just like that one. Just like this. 2. And so on and so forth. So that lineup trick with the Allen wrench works really well. And this is going to make for a nice machine. And I'm telling you guys, it doesn't look like it's much higher But for those of you like me that strictly have just always had the baseline X-Carve, this thing is gigantic when it comes to how tall it is now in my eyes. Telling you, if you're planning on getting this, it is totally worth it so far. I will be doing a review on it later on down the road, and a video on setting up the motors for within easel, because now that I have them all in, I am going to just tighten them down, because honestly, I think it's going to square my machine up literally effortlessly, and we'll have to check it at the end. I'm not the best person for that. Maybe do some like measuring across your thing, see if it's the same each way, which I'll do, and try to make adjustments accordingly. But this acrylic is the first thing I am tightening up. All right, got one down, like 30 more to go. Let's get it. Alright, I decided to go ahead and peel all of them because it's very annoying. I just wanted to get it out of the way. Save your nails, save your fingernails, because it is tough. And just get you a razor blade. Peel the corner without marring your acrylic and peel away. Let's get to putting them on. Well, just got done eating some dinner, so you know what that means. All right, quick update. This side is way harder than the other side. That is sweat because I'm burning up. There's a stiffener here for the drag chain, and I went ahead and unloosened it and moved it all the way up underneath one of these corners. It may, how I had it set up, it may have fallen in between two, but it didn't look like it, so I went ahead and moved it. That way I could tighten this with it under it. It did not make this go above here. It's still less than flush. So that is something some people might run into. I hope you don't, because that was god awful trying to unloosen this screw down here underneath this bracket. And then also don't forget, you have two under here that you have to loosen, not just the one that you can see. So, whew, that was rough. I'm gonna do the other two off camera because I don't want to restart a time lapse. Also, real quick, I want to add, before I put this one or that one on, I did tighten this all the way. That way it pulled it up snug to the rail and my alignment would be good. I would also like to correct something I said earlier. I said you may be able to put these both ways. Well, that is false. Reason being, if you put it like this, it won't lock in like it's supposed to. When you put this in your groove, this little ring right here stays on the lip and the rest turns behind it. So you have to have that lip facing you. All right? Glad I got that off my chest. All right, so what I did is kind of take the gantry and move it to the front with these loose, and the back you saw. And for the front, I mainly was concerned about when I pull it all the way forward, I want them both to kind of be in the same spot, and they're both The other one just a hair more, but they're both not rolling backwards like they're supposed to. Everything's nice and smooth. I mean, this is really solid compared to what it was. So very impressed. And I just want to say Inventables is not sponsoring me to make this video. They're not paying me to make this video. I'm just an X-Carve user. I got a JTech laser. Love this machine. It has made me a ton of money. So yeah, I wish they were sponsoring me. Maybe one day. Next, I think we're going to dig into putting the motors and the idlers on. And then we will do the Z before we throw the belts on there. So this is exciting because we're getting close to an end. These are really annoying. What I did end up doing with these on the inside, since there's not a lot of room to work with, I would pre-do the screw and pre-do the bottom piece and then line them up and slap them in. Sometimes it was tedious. I enjoyed the lineup method with the Allen wrench over here a lot more, but over here it just made sense to spend that extra minute trying to get it to click into place so that you could tighten them up. I threaded them, I think, 1.5 turns on the screw, and then that gave it enough to slip in there and turn past the metal. So, all right, let's get these motors installed. For anybody wondering why I'm using a impact wrench to put this stuff together and it might be making you crunch your teeth a little bit, this is a DCF 887. It's DeWalt's brushless, like super crazy freaking impact wrench. It has 3 speeds on it. Speed 1 even it'll stop itself, and it will also let me continue to hand tighten after. So don't worry about nothing breaking or stripping out, okay? Knock on wood, because I still got 2 more motors to do. Let's do it. Okay, well, at this point, some of you guys might be wondering, like, oh, he was working on the motors. What is he doing messing with the Z? So, as I was taking the belt off of the X-axis, I noticed I really couldn't get it past I eventually took the clip off, but the clip wouldn't come all the way through, so it got me thinking. And then I started looking at this thing, right? It's all one piece, right? And then you have to put those big old 9mm idlers in there, and you have to somehow bolt it. And there ain't no way I had enough room with it on the X to do that, so I decided to go ahead and do that, because when I put the motor in to this, the new one, I want to be able to run the belt at the same time, because those of y'all that have done this know it's a pain in the butt to do it while it's on the machine. So I'm going to run the belt first, and hopefully it works out. Stay tuned and figure it out. Alright, so now what I can do, I haven't practiced this off camera yet, so I'm going to mount the motor with the belt in between the idlers while this is off, because it's a pain to get it under the rails once this is on. This is something I've never tried, and I'm going to try it. Got these on there. Get you a nice wrench. The Inventables wrench sucks for the 8mm. I used a Craftsman, which I hate Craftsman, but that's the best wrench I had. Got the job done. because these bolts really sink down into that idler, so it's kind of hard to get a grip on them. So if you get a grip and you're using an impact, just full send it until it stops. Like I said, on level 1, don't screw it up. And then I went back and hand tightened. So I'll go ahead and get a bolt into the motor here. This is the one I'm going to use. Okay, which ones were they? Here's 2. I know what size they were, I just don't know where the other ones went. Anyways, I'll do this with the 2 and I'll find the other ones because I just want to show you all real time real quick. I know this video is getting lengthy. I probably will put it all in one video. If you like what I'm doing, you like how I'm explaining, please like the video so that other people can see me install this, because I know a lot of people are going to have questions just like I do about this. I did not know I was going to have to take my Z off in order to do this, but you learn, right? So remember to mount your motor with the plug facing up. And now that I got those in there, what I'm going to do is go ahead and feed some of this in. So you have all this room to play with. It's really nice. And I can stick my fingers through here. Kinda. I have long fingers, but boy, there's some sausages. I'm actually just going to stick it out the top here. And then rotate it if I can. I can't. This belt's tough, boys and girls. Really tough. She's thick too, boy. Alright, got it under first idler. See, this is even taking me a second. Doing it off of the axis. And that's crazy. Alright. Now I'm all set. Just like that. So what I'm going to do now is hold this belt like this and just slip it on the Z. Ah, I'm losing stuff. I meant not the Z, the X. And this could have taken me a whole lot longer than it did if I didn't, you know, I'm really glad that I took this off, because it was only, I think, 8 screws. Well worth it. Oh, can't go in on this side because I have my homing switch thing there. Go in from the other side. Make sure I have my orientation right. It'll be like this. Okay, now I got my belt fed already. Got my Z on. Again, I'm going to slide it all the way till it hits that stopper. Keep the belt tight the whole time. And then just kind of lay it back in place and mount it on up. Didn't know you was going to take Z off, did you? Me either. Alright guys, thanks for staying tuned. I'm going to mount this back up off camera because it's sitting about the Z-axis. Everybody should know how to do this if you put your machine together. And then I'm going to get this motor completely tightened down. I'll be back on the camera to do the other motor. Alright, ran into a problem. Decided I was going to go ahead and put the X belt on here since I already have it ran. I can't get both the screws in the new thing. So it's very unfortunate. It's looking like I might have to only use this guy and a nut, which I don't want to do because I feel like this little boy here really locks it down. But that's a problem. So if you know how to do it, you let me know, because even if you do the small one first, this big one don't go in either. And it's just a bad design. Example. So yeah, please figure it out. Tell me in the comments how to do it, because that's a struggle. But I'm just going to use the nut, I guess, but it really doesn't lock the belt down to the X. So it is getting late. It's like 11 p.m. This is taking a while, just letting y'all know. But I'm going to keep going. I'll finish tonight, hopefully. Stay tuned for the motor upgrade on the other side of the old Y, like I've been promising or saying I would do. Okay guys, I figured out a solution to that problem that I just showed you. Ta-da! What was happening was, when I would tighten my belts down, since nothing was holding it actually down, the clip wasn't holding tight enough to keep the belt from slipping, so I couldn't ever tighten it down. So I had to find a solution. And my solution was to drill this hole out to a 15/64. It barely takes any out. The little size under it, I forgot what size it was not even big enough. But I had to drill that hole to 15/64. Write that number down. Let me get back at it. I'll show you guys the difference that made real quick. So obviously this isn't tight, but still, when I had this tightened up, like to tighten the belt, without this screw, this would kick up because that belt is so thick. But over here, once I drilled that hole, it holds the belt nice and tight, and it locks into each other and will not come loose. So 15/64, folks, will fix your problem of not being able to get your screws in your clips. Whew, finally got that X belt on. Drilling that hole really made everything sit nice. It even, you can see, bends this up, but it really clamps this into place. And now I got my belt right where I want it. So next, I'm finally gonna get to this motor that I was supposed to do like an hour and a half ago. All right, I finally got all my belts on. They're nice and tight. I listened for a little flicker. That one's close, but trying to make the two on the, the two Ys sound the same, I guess. But I got everything on there nice and tight. I'm glad I drilled those holes, guys. You're gonna have to do that, because if not, your belt's gonna slip, because those clips that come with this thing are not tight until you put some pressure on them. And you can see that it actually bends this, and that's pushing, that metal is pushing down on the belt, making it grab itself. So your belt will not slip if you drill those holes. And who knows, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I couldn't get it, the two screws in there, but I could barely get them in there when I drilled those holes to the specific number that I told you guys. So I don't think it's possible. At least not the ones that came with it. From what I can tell, nothing here that came with this machine or these upgrades was for that purpose, because all I have left is Z upgrade stuff. So that's what we're gonna do now. I wanted to get all the belts on so the machine didn't move as freely while I'm putting on the Z. So let's get to it. What's going on, guys? I just got back from a trip from Lowe's. It is the next day. I did a full live install of the Z axis. Ended up being 15 minutes. So I'm just gonna briefly explain to you guys what I did and how you do it, rather than putting 15 more minutes on a video. They don't need to have 15 more minutes in it, because that sucker is long. All right, let me show you. So basically, you just take 2 of the little silver nuts that go into the into the slots, and they go into the back of the Z. So if you have your Z, you'll see 2 long slots on the back of it. You pre-feed, you pre-put the nuts in on this part, and then pre-screw you pre-put the screws on this part, and then you pre-screw the little silver thingies, and then you line them up and drop this on. Now, for depth, what I did is I brought, you can't really see because of these, but I took and I lowered my lower bearing there about 1/4 inch from the bottom, and then I made my router touch the table. So with what that does is allow me to have plenty of room for surfacing or whatever, and I don't ever have to worry about bottoming out. Besides that, when it comes to the drag chain and these wires, I was able to fish this fairly easily through excess wiring over here, through all the cables, and pull it out. I didn't have to take out but like 3 loops here and 4 loops there. When I say loops, I mean like these little thingies. As far as this, same thing. I didn't even bring it out all the way. It is currently not all the way this way, but that works. So I did zero it, I did home it. I'm about to make a whole second video on how to set this thing up, so if you want to see that, smash the subscribe button. During that video, I'm also going to be running it and surfacing the wasteboard. Okay, that concludes the video. This install took forever. I wish there were hand instructions sent with it, and I wish that I didn't have as hard of a time to get the screws into these bad boys. So that's the only 2 complaints I have about this kit. Inventables did release instructions on the website. They sent me a link to them. So I'm going to be using that to configure my machine. I've already configured it, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it. And next video, and get at it like that. So anyways, if you guys like this video, please like the video, smash the sub button. I enjoy putting this together for you guys. Took a long time, but we got it done. Big Country out.